Hey guys, how are you? This is my very first time to go live, showing my face to the screen. And I'm sure some of you might be wondering or have many questions about going live. Well, it's as simple as that. You simply turn on your camera and go live, okay? And be able to chat with your subscribers as well as other fans that may like your content. And so today I want to talk about the reasons that may get you to be on YouTube or to become a YouTuber. Most of you probably you got on YouTube for the sake of it. You wanted to try out. You are curious to find out what happens online and how is it to put your video out there. I have been creating many faceless videos. I have made many videos that in other channels that I never showed my face, and many concerns are how will I appear in front of the camera? What will I talk about? Who is watching? How will people see me? What if my relatives are watching? See? So those are some of the concerns that people have that keep them from doing live videos. And not just live videos, even videos that may cause them to appear to show their faces. Many people don't want to show their faces. Some don't even like the way their mouth moves. Others don't like their own appearance. They don't like what they see on the screen. But believe you me, not many people don't care really. If they don't like your content, they will just scroll past. And then those who like your content, they will stay and engage you. That's how it goes. You don't have to worry too much about how anybody will think about you, um, what they will say when they see your video. All those are details that should not bother you at all. So just take your camera, set it up, and go live. As simple as that. I would like to hear from you if you've ever done a live video. Two categories of people. One, those who have done a live video with their faces showing. Okay. The other category is those who have created videos, pre-recorded videos, and then uploaded them with their faces showing. If you've done any of those two, I would like to learn your experience. I would like to hear what were your fears, and type on the chat. Let me know what it is that you are concerned about and how that very first time felt like appearing on camera and literally speaking to yourself. Because sure enough, unless you are a very popular figure, like a politician or a preacher, you can be assured that those first few lives, it will be just you and your camera speaking to yourself. But that's fine too. That's fine too. All you need to do is to keep at it. And if what you are sharing is something that a few people can resonate with, then you are justified to keep doing what you are doing. And even if you just do it just because you like it or you'd like to confront your fears. You know, you've always wanted to appear on camera, but you're like, oh, I think I'm a bit afraid of it. Then also that's a valid reason to confront your fears of appearing before a live camera. So I would like to invite your questions as we go along, even as we continue to look at these things. What it is like to appear on the screens for the first time. Okay, so write to me, guys. Type on the chat. Type on the chat if you are part of the category I have mentioned. Also, a third category, if you are aspiring to appear on the chat. Not on the chat, sorry, but on live video. Let me know what your fears are, what you are afraid that might happen when you appear. And so let's have a discussion, and maybe we will be able to help and encourage each other to do better. So I'm still looking out for the questions that may appear either through the chat or my other platforms of what it is like to come to the chat for the very last time, for the very first time. Okay, keep chatting me up. Okay, so as much I would like to be speaking on a few things. I know that most of you, when you are connected, you are very much concerned about your appearance. You know? You're wondering, how do my ears appear on the YouTube video? How? Maybe you don't like they are too big or too stretched out. Okay? If that is your concern, I don't have such concern at all, but I know that I don't like cameras. You could consider having, you know, a cap so that you can cover your ears a little bit, or long hair so that you feel more confident to draw away attention to features that you don't very much like. You may also try something like glasses if you feel that you need more confidence. And if you are a lady, and you may also try in some earrings to distract from the shape of your ears. You may try makeup and all those other things. But if you are feeling a bit shy appearing on cameras, some of it is to acknowledge it from inside. Nobody really knows that you are shy unless you show it. But acknowledging it in yourself, you don't have to say it. You just tell yourself that I really feel shy about this. Once you make that acknowledgement, then step up and do your thing. So that acknowledgement does a lot to um, boost your confidence. You'll be surprised that most of your people that are watching you don't really care, and they might actually like the features that you are trying to hide. Because whenever we come to the spotlight, it's quite common to feel very much self aware. Even those people, the media personalities that have been in the spotlight for so long, I've had several of them indicate that to date, they still have to deal with stage fright. They feel some butterflies on their stomach every time that they have to face the cameras and address live audiences. Um, Others may be concerned about how they sound, but that should not be your biggest problem, because as I told you, those who like you will stay. Uh, and those who don't like your content, they will go. Um, so take away the fear. Take away the fear and step up. The only way to create content is to start. And if you're a content creator, at some point people will want to relate with the person behind the content. They would like to see the face behind the content. Some will stop watching until they relate to the face. Some will be more drawn to your content once they see your face. So don't be afraid. Don't hesitate too much. Don't hesitate too much. Okay, keep them coming. Keep the questions coming. I will be addressing them as they come. Keep the questions coming. If you've ever appeared live, as I told you, I would like to hear your story so that you can encourage someone who has been hesitating to come live on video. Stage fright is real, but you need to overcome that. I want to create a team of people who are out to beat their fear of attention. Because you imagine that when you are live, everyone in the world is looking at you. But really, not everyone. It's only those who are concerned or are looking for the topic that you are addressing. And so you don't need to be afraid. You're not doing anything wrong by appearing live. You're not doing anything wrong by appearing live. You simply want to make the world better by sharing your content. And to love is to share, or is it saying to share is to love? To share is to love. So keep your concerns coming. If you are a person who likes to appear would like to appear on live video, but you're afraid. And if you're that person who has already appeared on live video, that person that has already appeared on live video, I'd like to know what your concerns were that time. And if you still appear, I would like to know what your concerns are now. Are you still afraid? Do you still have that exaggerated self-awareness that, oh, the cameras are focused on me? What do I do? How do people see me? What if my mom is watching? What if my boss is tuned in? So you address these things at a go. For instance, if you're learning to drive a car, when you leave the driving school, you still feel as though you are not ready to drive yet. And how do you conquer that fear? You conquer that fear by getting on the road. You do it afraid. You get on the road, you believe that you've already been given the prerequisite skills that are needed to drive a car safely on the highway. And that way, within no time, you discover that as your confidence has gone by. So in live video, the visual quality and overall appearance are, of course, everyone's concern, including the best of us. These ones are influenced by a mix of many things, like the technical equipment you have, environment, and the context. For clarity, you know that you need a good lighting. I've been improving on lighting, but again, don't wait until you get the expensive equipment to appear. So try to do as much as you can to improve your lighting. Trying to do as much as you can to improve your audio. Audio means a lot. Some people might even watch bad visual, but if there is very clear audio, they will be there watching. So make sure also that there is synchronization on audiovisual, meaning that there is no lapse. Your video is synced with the movement of your lips or the scenarios and the episodes on your video so that they are in sync. It's such a turn off when you watch a video that what the lips are saying is not what the audio is saying. That people need to see that the lips are synced with the voice. Let's talk about each of these. Of course, another engagement is viewer concern is viewer engagement. But as I told you, if you are new YouTuber, you should not be too worried about this because a lot of many of your first videos you'll be speaking to yourself. Hello world. I remember my first coding class when we did HTML coding. The first statement that we coded when we did our very, very fast web page, it's hello world. But there was no world to see our web page. We did that to ourselves, but the day we created that very first web page with the simple ones, hello world, that was the birth of a passion. We felt empowered that we can create a web page, and from there was no looking back. The same with you. The day you appear, you might be speaking to yourself, but that is the launch pad. You have just been initiated to doing live videos, and from there should be no looking back. I'll break down some of the categories with tips and how you can optimize them. And as I do that, you can be looking, chatting with me, sending your questions. If you are watching me on other platforms, you can still keep your questions coming. Not just questions, but also statements. You can chip into the discussion and make it richer. So we were talking about lighting. Why does lighting matter? But even as you are working on your lighting, do not get into the trap of thinking that you need expensive equipment in order to go live. If you have studio quality equipment, it's okay, but if you don't have, start with a good phone that has adequate lighting and can take good sound. So very poor lighting creates shadows and washed out colors. It might also create grainy footages that are not visible. Like, you remember those old black and white TVs, the way they were grainy? That can be an effect of when you don't have good lighting for your videos, then your output looks really, really fuzzy. It may also look unprofessional and cause some people not to engage. So the key factors is you might choose to have natural lighting. You can shoot your videos outside, or you might have artificial. So direct sun, of course, there are a few challenges. It causes some shadows. Harsh shadows might fall on your images. On the artificial, the indoor bulbs might tint your skin. If you're using also colored bulbs, they will reflect on your skin. The right direction also will have a direct impact. It will have a direct impact on your video. So the direction of light is important. When you are setting up, make sure that you set up on a place where there is least shadows. Okay. So if you have a ring light, that is a good one, because it complements the webcam and brings you better results. Camera quality. Why it matters is because low resolution or incorrect settings result in blurry, pixelated, or distorted videos. Just like poor lighting, also a poor quality camera will make your video look really worse than it is. So make sure you set up well. Also consider if it's on YouTube, the settings on YouTube. Make sure that you get the best that you have, and also make use of the settings. The other factor that you might consider is also the internet connection and the encoding. If you have a slow link that is always buffering or it's dropping frames, it will look your stream looks choppy, ruining the smooth appearance. It's like the video has a hiccup. Okay, people don't really get in the flow. Okay, so the upload speed must be at least 5 to 10 Mbps for the high density videos. Fluctuations may cause a lag that your video has very unpleasant spaces. Remember, I am talking about live because you're really live when you are you are recording in real time. You know, as you record, you're also projecting, and everyone is watching. Because if it's a pre-recorded you are making, then you have time for edit. But when you are on live, there's no time for edit. So at least you need to meet the bare minimum. So if you're also on using the Wi-Fi, most people are on shared plans because the dedicated connections are expensive. So target when there are fewer people sharing the Wi-Fi, and that way maybe you are able to get better connection. Also, you might try, instead of using the wireless or Wi-Fi, you might try to connect your device directly to the router, directly to the Wi-Fi router using the cable. It might also improve. However, other factors that are likely to affect the quality are the type of hardware on your device. So say if the GPU, the video card that is on your device is of a lower quality, then of course it affects you. Even if you have a faster internet but a very poor device, then that affects also. Also the processing power. If you're using a very small processor, or a device with a very poor processor, or also you are using a device that is also running several other applications in the background, you expect poor results because of that. We talked about audiovisual synchronization, that we want your lips to match the voice that is coming over the video. So lip sync issues, they are distracting. You know, people are looking at your lips, and when your lips are moving, they are hearing a sound trailing behind. So remember to take care of that. And of course, it is also determined by the factors we have talked about. High latency between the mics and the camera. No, maybe the visual is coming before the voice, or the voice is moving faster than the video. You take care of that. If there is noise in the background clutter, or a lot of things in your background, and maybe including my background, it doesn't look really good, it's a bit busy. It should be plain and neat, but remember, this can be taken care of by creating virtual background, so that your listeners are not distracted. So if you're using maybe a laptop and the noise of the fan can be heard, it is also picking the noise of the fan, then you can try to look for a dedicated microphone so that that one is taken care of. So environmental devices also, and the device factor, you know, and the environment, for instance. The variables that are outside the devices themselves but cause some problems on your video Why this matter is they degrade the stream unpredictably. For instance, one time I was streaming and I had connected my MacBook to an external screen via HDMI. So at some point, my laptop screen started turning black because it is getting interference from the external screen. And that way I got into problems because I could not coordinate very well. You also become tense. Your viewers can see that you are physically distracted as you speak. So device overheating, if your device is getting too hot. For example, I have an iPhone 6S Plus, an old device here, but sometimes I used to take videos. And this thing can get really hot. And when it gets really hot, it starts malfunctioning. You know, it might drop frames. Also, the features that you want to use, if you want to change something, it also starts hanging. But you can always see how long it takes, because if it's, for instance, your device, you know that it gets long, very hot in long streams, then you can make your streams shorter. If you shorten your streams so that you're finished before your device gets hot. Room acoustics, you don't want to hear an echo. So that's why people, take live videos outside, because when you, for instance, you clap, you don't want to hear an echo. To test how good where you are taking your video is just keep quiet, clap, and listen for the echo. Let's try this. So if you hear an echo, you know that that room will interfere with your sound. There are ways to take care of that, especially if you're in a small room. You can hang curtains all around the room, or at least in the bigger walls, so that you have just little patches exposed that are bare concrete. You can also take care of your ceiling. If you have a wooden ceiling, a room with a wooden ceiling is much better than a concrete ceiling. Also, some people take care of that by taking videos in their walk-in closet. The clothes help with taking away the echo. They absorb the echo, and so you don't hear the echo. So that's how you take care of the echo, or what we call room acoustics, that are perceived as unprofessional. So YouTube, of course, also has adaptive streaming, so that if your connection becomes weaker, then it takes a lower resolution videos. If your connection is good, very good quality, then it takes higher resolution videos on your live stream. So stream in a quiet, cool room with good ventilation. Test your setups before you go live. Okay? Test your setups before you go live. Keep the questions coming. I'm looking out for what you are saying, and I will be able to address it here. If you don't want me to mention you could indicate that. But remember, we're saying the important thing is to get started. Even you don't have to get all the equipment. You can get started with what you have. You can get started with what you have. For best results, always do a dry run and check YouTube analytics. See where you dropped off, and then you will be able to improve on that. So we have talked about the equipment, which I know many people would be concerned about. We might look at personal concerns. About personal concerns about appearing on live videos. So we can highlight what some of them are, and that's why I need you to keep sending me your experiences so that we can draw from your experience. We want also to draw from what you have experienced when you are doing your own live video. So beyond the technical things that we've mentioned, like you've mentioned lighting, camera quality, we may also look at other things, personal worries related to your own self-image, comfort, and mental well-being. This can affect your own confidence, and if your confidence is affected, then straight away your performance will be affected and it will show on your video. So I'll try to look at the common ones that I have come across myself, and you might add to what I will look at. So minor imperfections, they range from my minor imperfections to authentic ones that you really might be concerned about. Firstly, we look at anxiety and nervousness. Okay, why is it a concern? I said to you that everyone gets nervous, even those who have been doing this for long. The spotlight effect amplifies your self-consciousness. You are like feeling that people are staring at you. How do my teeth appear? How do my lips move? How is my hair? How is my forehead? How are my eyes on camera? It leads to shaky delivery, like your voice starts to crack.
It's 1 o'clock.
And you start having a lot of filler words like or you might freeze up before you speak your words. Especially if you are new to this, if you are beginning, you might find yourself in that situation. But as I told you, it's normal. So in the beginning, your main concern is to reduce these effects. And of course, your video, let me tell you this straight, your first video will not be great. Even your second video will not be great. Even your 10th video. In fact, your first 50 videos might not look anything like great. So don't be discouraged if you do your first video and you think it's horrible. Only keep improving, keep learning, and keep doing it as you get better. Now, practice with short private tests. Okay? Record yourself off the live and look at how it looks and how it feels. Then you can make some corrections before you do the real live video. Use the breathing techniques. Okay, there's one technique that is usually very common. It's called the 4-7-8 method. You inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 7 seconds. And exhale for 8 seconds. You got that? Can we try that? Breathe in. Breathe out slowly. Seven seconds. So you inhale, you hold your breath, then you exhale. Inhale for 4 minutes. So you inhale slowly for 4 minutes. You hold your breath for 7 minutes, and you exhale for 8 seconds. Okay, before going live. So it is eases you up. It helps you breathe easier, because when you breathe shortly, your voice comes from your throat, like you are. Let me say this, but your voice should come from your chest. Okay, so you need to sound. We need to get the depth of your voice. So you speak with depth when you speak from your chest instead of speaking from your throat. So people can tell the difference when you are speaking from your whole being, from your chest cavity, where there is resonance. Resonance is what gives your voice depth. See? That's why you sound better in the bathroom, because it's a small closed room and that voice is played back to you, so it sounds deeper and nice. You can replicate that on your trial videos. You try to speak, if your voice sounds too high pitched, you can lower your voice a bit. You pause, you speak slowly, and you speak from your chest cavity. So breathing exercises help with that. Breathing exercises help with that. Also, another trick is if you really have a high pitched voice and you need to get it deeper, you can hum. You can hum a song like in a little low tone. That improves your voice. When you're humming a song, and when you practice that from everywhere, anywhere, when you're in your car, you can practice that. It deepens your voice so that when you come live, then your voice sounds a bit better. The other thing also is to make sure you've relaxed these muscles. The muscles that control your jaws, if they are relaxed, you sound better. A technique is to use your fists like this to relax the muscles of your jaw. So when you relax these muscles, it helps improve your voice. It helps improve your voice. So before you speak, those are some of the exercises that you can do. For people who do public speaking a lot, so that's also something that can help you, not just videos. You can also make sure that your lips are relaxed and your tongue also. Like you can relax your tongue, like moving it fast before you go live. That's how you exercise your tongue. You move your tongue fast until it relaxes. You also practice with your lips. Some you might blow like booing, like boo. That way, you also exercise your lips so that your voice sounds a lot better. Actually, you have a better sounding voice than you think. If you train it, it gets better. I'm also in the process. I'm no expert, but I've been doing some of those things. breathing techniques, relaxing your jaws. Okay. And another trick also to relax your jaws is to really chew a really big imaginary gum. Not chewing up and down, you're chewing like a cow does, sideways. A really big gum. It looks weird, but you need that. You may also try a really big laugh, a hearty laughter like your. Okay, that helps as well to relax everything, including your own vocal cords. You need to exercise them so that you sound a lot better. Those people who are used to doing voiceovers, you can learn that from them. You can ask them how well they have trained their voice. There's an example of an old British Prime Minister called Margaret Thatcher. I don't know if some of you have heard about her. If you have, you can give me a thumbs up on the comments and then, or a fire, then I know that we are communicating. So Margaret Thatcher had really a high pitch in her voice. She came to be called the Iron Lady. She would speak with very high. If you look, if you listen, if you go to YouTube and look for her old videos, she had a really high pitch, which was unpleasant and almost like a shrill that is very irritating to the ears. But as her political career took off, her voice was trained so that she sounded deeper. You see, you are able to sound deeper from talking like a shrill to deeper. You know, when you talk, when you have of depth on your voice, you sound more confident and more convincing. Another person is there's a lady, a US young lady who had a scandal that had gone through many years. Her company was called Theranos. It claimed that they had developed a device that would do over 300 medical tests with just a tiny, like a drop of blood. You know, if you have been to a hospital and you needed a blood test, they really take great amount so that they can be able to divide it up and do many tests. And depending on the tests, the more tests, the more the blood. So what I want to say, the lady, when she came up with that invention, before that she used to have also a very high pitched voice, like really high pitch. But then she realized to sound more confidence, she needed to raise money for her company and she needed to sound confident before the investors. And she took big investors, including in her company, there were really big names like former military leaders, including Henry Kissinger was in her board. How did she manage to convince them? But she worked really on her voice. If you looked her up, how she sounded before that, she really had a very high, girly voice. Then now she got a really deep voice, really deep, and spoke slowly. You barely recognized her. I'm trying to imitate her voice, but it really got really big, deep, and it was just voice training, and so that she could sound more convincing, have a more commanding tone, and appear confident so that she can be able to appeal to the investors. So it's a long story. Eventually, it was found that her machine was not working, and she tried to cover that up, and she was prosecuted because she had raised quite a bit of money, even when she was 19, she had raised $6 billion for her startup. And even President Obama called her in one of those interviews, and she commended her to have done so much at such a young age. At age 19, you are running a company worth not six, sorry, $9 billion. Raised that and raised $9 billion. Imagine that for her startup. But it ended up disappointing a lot of people because although it was a really groundbreaking invention, there was some dishonesty trying to cover up what that machine could work, yet it didn't, giving patients wrong results, endangering their lives. That's what really caused the trouble. But that was not my story, really. The main thing is about voice, giving you an example of someone who was able to train her voice from sounding really high pitched to low, deep voice that exuded a lot of confidence. So you can train your voice to get better. And she used it to really do a great job in the beginning. Okay, so start with low stake streams, e.g., a small group, and remind yourself it's okay to pause. Okay, you don't have to try to bring all the ones at the same time. If it's a pre-recorded video, try to edit out the mishaps if needed. Another concern that many people have is about body language and posture. And why is it a concern? No, slouching, fidgeting can make you seem disengaged and unprofessional. If your ones are spot on, webcams exaggerate upper body movements, okay? The webcams exaggerate the upper body movements. So how do you address this? Some of the tips is, you should not be moving a lot, but as we said, you cannot be perfect in your first video. So we are heading towards perfection, but we are beginning somewhere. We are doing as much as we can to get as many things right at the first time as we can, but it's a learning curve. We cannot do everything well in the beginning. So to make the best of your body posture, sit with your feet flat on the ground. Make sure the whole foot is flat on the. Don't keep moving your foot a lot. Okay, then relax your shoulders. Don't look tensed, like that, but try to relax your shoulders so that they appear in a natural posture. You can lean forward slightly to appear engaged because you see, of course, when you are drawn back and you close your hands or put them between your feet, you might look disengaged from your audience. So you lean forward slightly, and so you look more engaged with your viewers. Use hand gestures, but don't overuse them, of course. Naturally, avoid closing them, as you have said, because when you close your hands, you look closed, like people feel that you're moving away from them. But when you open your hands like that, you look welcoming, like you're saying, and come, you're open to people, you're open to views, you are glad to have them in your space. That is how it works. That is how it works. So working on your body posture also is something you will keep training yourself, and you'll get better and better as you go along. and that you should not be overly, trying to be perfect, but make the best use of the things you're pointing out, and then try to apply them and get better and better. Prop your setup at eye level and look directly at the lens. Okay, so what it means is, you see, if you're using a laptop or a phone, the camera is up there, but of course the tendency is to look at the at yourself on the screen, and that way you don't you people will see you as if you're looking away. So when you look directly at the lens, then your audience see that you're looking at them directly. It mimics eye contact. But of course, and I'm guilty of this too. Most of the time, I find myself looking at myself instead of looking at the lens, and I keep improving as well. You might be overly concerned about your clothes, the wardrobe, and grooming choices. No, clothes that look great in a person, in natural light, in one-on-one, they might look really bad on camera because of the lighting. Some of the stripes look as if they start moving and getting fuzzy. The patterns start um, get destructive. So it's always good to test how your grooming appears so that it does not distract your viewers. And I'll give you a few tips on this. Opt for solid mid-tone colors. No, avoid extremes. No, avoid the very very white, very very black that blend with the background, because it might blend so much with the background until it's as if it's a head talking without a body. Keep it simple. If you're wearing makeup, don't overdo it. Keep an even skin tone, tidy hair, and subtle accessories. For longer streams, have a quick touch-up routine. You know how when you're the same way when presenters are appearing to read the news on TV, they touch up their skin and maybe their hair to look much more friendlier on the TV screens. Consider comfortable clothes, because if they are too tight on you, you'll sit uncomfortable and people will notice. And if you're too heavy also, you are sweating a lot and it can be seen through the light. And it is also washing away your makeup and it might be very embarrassing. Okay. Another concern is about your privacy. You are afraid, oh, I'm showing everything. Sharing your space life risks exposing personal details. So your kid might come in running behind you, and we don't want to expose your kid's face to the world. Also, you don't want them to interrupt you. Also, the camera may go where you don't want to and take the clutter in your home, leading to unwanted scrutiny, people thinking you are disorganized also. But also, again, people also appreciate when you appear natural. You don't need to look too polished, because people live normal lives. People don't live in polished, very, very polished. Majority of us live in very average lives. So also be authentic. Don't overly try to be what you are not. But if these are very concerning, you may try a few things. If your background is too bad, you can try blurring your background or using virtual backgrounds in sensitive areas. Or you can also angle your camera, or set your device in a certain angle so that you only show what you want to be seen. Also set your stream time outside the family time. Maybe when everyone is away in school or at work, or when everyone is asleep. You may also use noise reduction so that the noise of your surrounding is not picked up. Remember to put off your devices after you are done streaming, so that you don't expose what does not. Some people have forgot to put out the camera, and then they start undressing, getting ready to go to the bathroom, and it can be quite embarrassing. I think you have seen things, especially on Zoom meetings. Someone appears topless and they don't realize that their camera is on. Then they realize, oh, I already switched on my camera. I thought it's only the audio that was, the microphone that was on. Okay, other things are physical discomfort and health that you need to be concerned about, especially on long streams. When you sit up for too long, for like now I've been sitting here for the last 1 hour, and you start straining because of discomfort, especially if your shoulders and neck, this side and this side, these muscles of the neck. You need to take a break, stretch a bit, and come back. Of course, notify your audience that you're taking a break. Maybe put some music or video, or share your screen to show them something that you need them to see. So that you can take a retro break. Yeah. So if the lights are too bright where you're seated, you may start straining your eyes. Always take care of that. If you start feeling unwell, like a headache, know that it's time also to take your break, and that your energy levels are beginning to go down. So always take a break every 45 to 60 minutes to stretch. Use a timer to see how long you've been live. Adjust the screen brightness, okay, so that you avoid eye strain, right? You adjust it to 120 of ambient light and follow the 20-20-20 rule for your eyes. What does that mean? Every 20 minutes, look 20 feet away for 20 seconds. You get that? Every 20 minutes, don't keep staring on the screen throughout. So every 20 minutes, look away, 20 feet away. Okay, 20 feet away. Look 20 feet away for 20 seconds. Hydrate well. So make sure that you have enough water to avoid mouth dryness. And a dry mouth starts to sound like a broken record. So remember the things we have talked about, and these ones will help you improve on all those things that we've mentioned. We talked about anxiety, which can be helped by deep breaths. Also, script your points that you're going to speak about so that you are not anxious. Do a mock before you do the real stream. We talked about body language, eye level. Make sure that the level of your eyes is synced with the camera. Usually have your camera slightly lower than your eyes so that you're able to sit comfortably. We call it ergonomics, aligning your equipment the way your body posture is so that you can be comfortable as possible. Keep an open posture. We said about avoiding closed hands and all. We are recapping, folks. Record sessions and review. Before you do your live, you can record a few short clips and review how they look. We talked about also the wardrobe and grooming. We talked about using solid colors and testing, running the tests. Also, you can choose, when you're selecting your clothes next time, consider selecting clothes that are also stream friendly. We've talked also about privacy, not exposing too much of your background or people that you don't want to be seen, like kids or people that don't want to appear on your camera. We've also said that to do that, you can have virtual backgrounds to blur your background or get a virtual background, and also plan. You plan. You plan the timing when the space that you're streaming on is not too busy. Then lastly, we talked about health, eye strain, neck strain, back strain, headaches as a result of the way you are sitting, the lighting. So take care of that also. Get an ergonomic chair and a laptop stand or a phone stand so that you are able to sit as comfortably as possible. So these concerns are all normal, as we said, and will fade with experience. As soon you get your rhythm, you know when you need to relax, you know when you need to adjust. Many creators will say start small and build resilience. Okay. If a specific issue like tech anxiety and styling is on top of your mind, you can tell me on the chat or the comment section. If you come across this video after we have ended our live session, which we are going to do in the next few minutes, please comment about the topic, give your views, what I need to improve because I'm also in the learning curve. Also, share your experience and share on what you'd like me to address next time. And if at all you feel that I need to invite a guest on a certain topic, you may also let me know so that I can invite someone who can address a certain topic of your concern better. So let me know what we can discuss in the next video. I guess to see you a week from now and continue this discussion. So happy YouTubing. Okay. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your night. If where you are is already night. I'm streaming from Nairobi, Kenya, and right now it is 1:30 in the morning, 1:30 a.m. We're right now at Nairobi, Kenya, in the East Africa coast. So good. See you next time. I'm really glad that you joined me for this live session. I hope to see you next week. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and comment.